All right, welcome back. Let's talk about the win that I took on NAS today. And let me go through my entire process of how I trade, right? So I got my trading journal here, and I just want to go through this part. This trading journal's probably about like 300 pages at this point. All right, so first step my trading journal is I look at the news and I do my major structure, minor structure, and microstructure. So let's go through that, what I did today. So the first thing is I look at the daily, and my whole point of the major structure and minor structure is I want to get a story. I want to see what price is telling me, right? So from here on major structure, the real thing I'm looking at the beginning of the session. Well, actually, I'm sorry. Let me do this. Let me uh let me go back in time at 9:30 at session open. All right, here we go. So we're at 9:30. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit the replay bar, and right at 9:30, bada boom, bada bing. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through the daily. Of course, first thing I do is check the news. No news today on Tuesday, August. Yeah, August 25th, 25. All right, so basically, I'm looking at this, and I really want to see did we retrace to the 50? We kind of did a little bit, right? We kind of starting to go back up. Maybe we come back down. I don't know. But only thing really on the daily that I'm looking at is I'm looking at the last candle, right? I'm looking at the last candle, and I'm looking at the prior day, and I want to see that the prior the how, like where we at and compare these last days. So right now, at before 9:30, like right at 9:30, we got the last candle. We've been selling. We've been selling pretty big on the last couple days. So I'm like this candle, this session, right off the bat, not looking at anything else. I'm like we could be buying today. So that's the daily, and then a part of major structure is I go to the 30 minute and I zoom out and let me just see what's going on the major structure, right? So let me go cut out this trading session so you can see it, and I'll do cut out those support resistance. So basically, what we're looking at, we pretty much on major structure, we pretty much been selling. We had pretty much price pretty much going up, and then we kind of went into a downtrend. I'm looking at this downtrend leg right here, and I'm like, well, this right here is like a consolidation little pullback. So if I draw my fib, I'm like, all right, we came here, we pulled back, we didn't pull back to the 50. So I'm not really expecting price to continue down and go to the negative 168. We pulled back to the at least to the 23.38. So I'm expecting price to really go to the 27 and then reverse. And that's exactly what it did. Price got down here to the 27, a little further, and then we started reversing, which is cool. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm like, all right, cool. That's the move. Okay. Then we did like a brief period of consolidations, and then we actually went up. Thanks to my Microsoft Teams notification there. We actually went up, and then we after that retracement, we pretty much did a continuation or an expansion on down, and then we did another pullback, and then we did an expansion. So what I'm looking at pretty much pre-session is, let me see if I can freaking hide this, man. Jeez, everybody's going to lunch. So what I can do is I'm already on lunch, by the way. It's my lunch break. So pretty much what I'm doing is I'm looking at this leg here. This is the leg that I'm looking at. Okay, I'm looking at this leg, and I'm like, okay, this is potentially the pullback, right? So this is the move. Okay, so on major structure, I'm like, all right, we're in this pullback right here. Oh, excuse me. This is the main. This is an expansion move according to the trend. We're in the downtrend, and we're pulling back. So I'm like, let me pull my fib out and let me put it from the low to the high. At this point, we're pretty much past the golden zone. Okay, we're past the golden zone. So I'm like, we could be going into a reversal. We could be, but that means we have to come here, make a higher low, and then shoot back up, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. That's major structure. Major structure is what? Okay, let me do major structure. I'm like, we, um, current price right now. All right. So the current price right now is we're in a pullback. So pretty much what I'm looking for is, let me now zoom in a little more. Okay. So this is the 30 minute. So I'm looking at the 30 minute on major structure, and I want to see some type of big level support resistance. So what do I see? I see price stopped here and price stopped here and price stopped here. And then what, the support turned into resistance right here. So I'm bold enough at this point to say, okay, check this out. Right at this area on this higher time frame, there's some type of resistance. So we hit, we bounced off. We hit, we bounced off. We broke, we hit, we bounced down. We hit right here, we bounced down. We broke, we hit again, we bounced off and went up. So I'm like, price seemed to act to this particular zone. So at this point in time, if we are in an uptrend, I'm looking for this price to pretty much hit here and go up. Now, the reason why this is important, the reason why I do this, because I'm creating different scenarios and different situations, and I'm getting a story in price. So at this point in time, the reason why I'm doing this, and I'll just right here, I'm getting the story. I'm like a news reporter getting the story. So that's the only thing is I'm getting a story, and it's helping me create some type of bias. When I get down here further in, it's not my execution bias, but this is pretty much like my bias for the day. So I'm like, if price comes here and we react and we get an engulfing candle, that's a pretty good sign that we're going to go up. Even though, like if I look on the fib, I'm looking at the fib and I'm like, yeah, bro. Um, I'm like, all right, I'm looking at this fib. We already, price is already past the golden zone. We're up here. We could continue to sell, but we're already up here. If we come and we react to this and we bounced off like this, 1, 2, 3. Every time we bounced off over here, guess what happened? Red candle came, right? We end up engulfing it and kind of going, right? But it really didn't react. It reacted and it went up, right? If you placed a trade here for whatever system you trade, you could have gotten like a nice 1-to-1, depending. Well, this is a 30 minute, so you could have dropped down to a lower time frame, gotten a golfing candle, and brought your way up. Because this move, when it hit this zone, right? This did go up 226 points, so that's enough profit, right? So when we look on the 30 minute, it did what? It engulfed the red candle, right? It went and hit. You look at this one, this green candle engulfed the red candle, right? So we're talking 200 plus moves reaction to the zone. So I'm like, okay, this could be a potential trade. It hit again. We could have another potentially another 160 to 200 point move. So that's my major structure bias. So I'll say on a major time frame or a major structure. This is where we're in a pullback. So that lets me know this right here is a pullback. This could be a reversal, right? We could reverse to up. Well, I'll say bullish. We could, but it depends. It depends on this high or low. Okay. So I keep that in mind. So this right here, this area, is pretty much a major structure area. So I'm gonna make it a little thick just so when I get to the lower time frames, I know. Okay, so now let's take a look now at minor structure, right? So that's major structure. Let's look at minor structure. So minor structure, even though we know this right here is on, like, we're going down, um, we actually have, well, excuse me, that is minor structure. Actually, I just did minor structure, so let's do minor. I'm sorry, minor. No, 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 no. Cancel. That's not what I want to do. No, no, no. Right here. There we go. Right. So what I just showed y'all, what I talked about was minor structure. Okay. Major structure, it's easier if I go on a 4 hour. I do it a lot of times on 30 minute, but for today, it's easier on the actual 4 hour. So major structure is this. This is major structure. I'm looking at price and I'm like, okay, Major structure is here. I'm looking at price. We did go down, and let me make this a bit smaller so I can get my fib in there. All right, there we go. So major structure is we're looking at this structure. We did shoot up, right? Price made an indication or an expansion because we just changed, we broke structure in this downtrend. This right here was a lower high. We just made a higher high, which is indications. Price is indicating we want to do something. So I'm looking for price to pretty much come to this area. If price comes down to this area on major structure, this at this point I'm looking for some type of reversal to actually go up because right now on major structure we are in a pullback. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, because we made an indication and because right. Okay, so you see how I just did that right there on minor structure. Guess what? If I drag this all the way over, check this out. If I drag this all the way over, guess what happens? Boom. Don't you see? See how price it does the same thing. And if I keep dragging it, right? This is a zone that price react to on the higher time frames. So we could come here, we could bounce up on minor structure, get a little 200 points. But ultimately, for the swing traders on major structure, we're looking to pretty much come down to this area and do a reversal. If we can, then we're definitely going to take this all the way up here if you were a swing trader. Okay, so that's major structure. So major structure, I'll say major structure, we are in a pullback. Okay, so we're in a pullback. This is pulling back, and then we're going to do a continuation into the actual to bullish. It's a bullish market, right? Okay, so it's major structure and it's minor structure. Major structure, we're in a pullback. Minor structure is while we're in this pullback, we're actually the main thing is this downtrend. So this pullback now is an opposite. We're going up. So I'm recognizing if we hit this area, we could place a trade on the microstructure and make some profits. So that's what I'm looking at. Okay. Now it's very important reason why I do this because say if the market opens and we damn shoot down here. Once we get down here, I'm very very careful about taking sales. Very careful. Like this is like Shaq. Like you see all this big area is like the final boss at this area. Like don't be selling down here, bro. That's like, come on. Okay, so now I'm looking at this different structures, and I'm like, okay, this is right here. We're going down. This is a pullback. Okay, cool. So now let's look at microstructure. So let me go to the 1 minute, and let me start looking at microstructure. So now microstructure is very interesting. We were actually buying up, and we pulled back. So this buy up here. Let me pull the old Fibonacci out from the low to the top. Right here. Boom. So we pulled back way past the point. We pulled back way past the point, right? So this is a reversal. We're pretty much looking to sell. So that's my bias for today. Is based off what I see. I'm looking to sell because major structure, which is like more powerful confluence, we're looking to pretty much come down here, and do some type of reversal type looking. So my bias for today is to sell. Now, here is what's freaking awesome. I have more confluence. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn on my trading sessions. Once I turn on my trading sessions, all right, let me go to the 5 minute. So it's a little bit easier. So once I turn on my trading sessions, I can see this is the last session. So this is literally what I do. I literally go to this tool right here called the fixed range volume profile. And I'll drag it just after the last session all the way here. Now, what this is going to tell me, this is going to tell me down here is the point of control. Now, what happens at the start of the New York session of the NAS 100, this is what happens a lot. Pretty much all the time, this happens. When this thing starts, previous sessions, Asia, and when we start looking at the different highs and different lows, right? Particularly this market, the way this market is moving, the previous session, the way this is, previous session highs and previous session lows. These are highs, and I'm like, were these highs taken out? No, they wasn't. This high, you see, it came short here. So if I drew a line here, right, this is a high. We need to take out this high, and once we take out this high, we're going to return to the point of control, right? So let me just to the 5 minute. I do a lot of my data now, a lot of like me paying attention to things on the 5 minute. I do execute on the 1 minute, and I will watch it on 1 minute, but I'm very careful because it's something called that I pretty much call 1 minute foreplay. And what that is basically reason why I call it 1 minute foreplay, because all it does, it gets you excited enough to market execute. But you don't want to do that because on a 5 minute, it could you could really see what's going on. Okay, so market open. I'm fully expecting price to pretty much take out these highs and then sell to the point of control. Now, the point of control is in the middle part of this tool all the time. If you go and back test this, every single time price starts the session, it takes out the highs or it takes out the market lows and it returns back to the point of control, right? So me noticing that, let me return back to the 1 minute. Let me look at my highs and let me look at my lows, right? We have down here, we have previous session lows. Let me see right here. What time? Okay, 9:30. Right here, this is a low. This is a low. We already took out this low, took out this low. So I'm like, cool. Price could come here and we could take out this low or we can take out this low and then we can go and we can take out this high. But I'm fully expecting price to pretty much take out the highs and then go and then do a sell. All right, so that's my bias. So that's done, that's done, that's done. So then I do my trade lines, my support resistance. All right, I already did my fixed volume profile, break and retest. I'm looking at these things, right? So okay. So now let me return and let me do the 1 minute actually. And then what I notice is that we did have a couple breaks. Do the trend line. You look at all this momentum that was upholding this forward momentum. Every time we turned to this area, we bounced off this line. We broke that line, right? So we start breaking. We start breaking these support zones, these support resistance. So here's another one. Boom. Every time we started coming here, we started breaking it, right? So this is signs that we're actually starting to turn the ship around, and we're starting to sell. So also, I'm looking at this trend line here on a 30 minute, which is more powerful. Every single time we got here. Let me just delete these little lines because these on a lower time frame. So you can see here we broke it. Now what we could break and then we could come back up, retest, take out these session highs, break and retest, and then come back down to the point of control. So that's my bias for the day. That's what I'm looking at. That's pretty much the only support and resistance that I care about right now is this trend line. I've already identified a level of higher time frame resistance down here. So then what I start doing is my trading or how I trade is I work on my conditional logic. Now, conditional logic, what does this mean? The conditional logic is I need to address every possible scenario, every possible situation after market opens so I can push the buy or sell button. If the market does something that I have not anticipated, just wait till tomorrow or just wait until your situation comes and then. So what does this mean? When you look at football, this is a guy called Peyton Manning. He's known for this, man. He's the GOAT of audible. When he gets to that line of scrimmage and he sees the defense set up and something that he sees something, what he'll do is he'll change the play right then and there, right? He'll blue 42, red 88. Then he'll go eagle, 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 right? He's eagling right here. And this is signs to the whiteout saying, hey, I recognize something on the defense. Let's change it a little bit. All right. Blue, 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 blue. He's changing the plays, right? He's calling an audible. He's adjusting. Why? Because when you're facing a worthy component, you have to actually adjust to the situation. So what's going on is I have to come up with scenarios. Scenario number one: price comes, shoots to the top, take out these highs, and then I get an engulfing candle to the downside. That's scenario number one. Scenario number two: we automatically just come and we shoot out. Then I look for an engulfing candle to the upside so we can take out these highs. So scenario number three, we just damn go to the depths of hell and I do nothing and I wait for an engulfing candle and I take it up. Scenario number three is we just damn chop. Now, if we're chopping, which is right here, a chop test. What is a chop test? A chop test is this right here. You see here, market is I match the market, right? That's another. I'm not even getting that. So this is the chop test. Say if you have an expansion, right? Then price comes to retrace, and then we come back up. We don't break the highs after this retracement. That's not an uptrend. What happens is that could be signed as a reversal. So we come back down, but we don't break the lows. That is now start to get into a chop. So it's very important you don't, because the chop, you will get chopped. How you play the chop is you sell, you wait for price to come like kind of outside of the chop, and when you get to the top, you sell. You get to the bottom, you buy. Buy at the bottom, sell at the top. Is how you play the chop. So literally, according to my trading plan, let's say for example, if I was trading this pre-session chop, I would literally wait for an engulfing candle. Say if I get to the top, and boom, here's an engulfing candle that engulfed this green candle. What I could do is I could simply just draw a box around the green candle and I wait for price to return, which is here, the next candle. Price came, boop, kind of tapped me in, and then what happened? Price retracted, did not stomp me out. Sorry, I draw it around. I draw it around the wick. No, I'm sorry, I had it right. It's this green candle. Price come, I put my stop loss just above it, right outside of it, and I boop it. It looked like it would have stopped me out, but I hold on to my trade. It doesn't. It comes back down. All right, I could have exited for a 1-to-1 right here, but it comes back up, creates a lower low. Boom, right? Profits. That's how you play the chop. So I need to identify that. So those are all the scenarios right now that I'm going to identify. So let's see what happens. Market comes. Boom, we come out in the market. Market's doing it. What happened is we come and we take these session lows. I'm sorry. It's this low that I'm looking at. I'm looking at all these lows, but after this low is taken, right? So say for example, we take these lows or like that low. Basically, it's liquidity, right? You can have pending orders that when price comes, people put an order in, or you can have stop losses for whatever reason. I don't know. People got all kind of different scenarios, like trading trading joints, right? So okay, so price came, grabbed some liquidity, wick rejected. Okay, after that rejection, what am I doing? What? I'm waiting on an engulfing. This candle was engulfed. I include the wicks. And then once this candle is engulfed with this candle, I simply wait for price to return back to the zone, tap me in. Once price tap me in, I can actually buy up to this. I strongly believe that price is actually going to take topside liquidity. This is not the trade that I took, by the way. I did not take this trade, but I could have. What did price do? Price came up, tapped me in, coach, and guess what it did? Bow! Went right up, took that liquidity, right? Did it take it? Okay, yes, it did take it. Right here. I didn't draw these lines very well. Well, it took this one. I don't think it didn't quite take this one, but it was enough liquidity there apparently. If I zoom in further, maybe so. But we did take it. And then what happened was we're getting into the trade that I actually did take. Once price came and took some liquidity, it took that liquidity, it took that one, it took something. I'm looking for price to take something. Once price took it, it pretty much it sets up my scenario, it sets up the situation. Now I need my entry to be set up. What is my entry? Is that now what happens is every time price got to this area, we reject it, we reject it, we reject it, we reject it, we reject it. And every time I'm looking for price now to return to the point of control. This is the big daddy move, right? This is the big daddy move I'm looking. So all I did is I said, okay, we rejecting. Now at this point, if this area right here is a huge 4-hour point of resistance, I'm going to do a super aggressive entry. And a super aggressive entry is once this zone, this candle, this green candle is engulfed, I get in. A regular entry, aggressive entry, just wait for price to come. Soon as price come, tap it. Don't wait for the candle to finish. Get in for a sell. A conservative entry is just pretty much wait for this candle that taps me in. Wait for it to finish printing because it can print like way up here and stomp me out. A break of a candle entry is just wait for price to come tap me in, and then wait for price now to come back and break this candle. Okay, so based off this scenario, I want to do a just regular entry. Okay, but I think I did a super aggressive entry. Is once we engulfed, I think I went ahead and enter in because data to the left, price did not come and tap that in. Okay, price once we got that rejection, um, right? It did stomp out. That's why it's important because even though price came and it would have got this area, it would have stomped them out. So what I did is I think I can't remember. I think I did a super aggressive entry. So boom, once we got that jazz, um, as you can see, price actually did come and tap us into our box the very next candle. So boom, enter into a trade right here. I put my stop loss just above, right? And then what did I target? I target this area here, right around this area. I target this area. Now, why did I not take this all the way down to point of control, right? The reason why is because I'm looking at this right here. I'm looking at this and reject it. I'm looking at this, reject. I'm looking at this, reject it. And also, what I can do is I can draw a nice, big, beautiful trend line, right? Like here. Let's see. I can draw a trend line here. Okay, so this is the trend line. Okay, like right here. Boom, that's the trend line. So I'm like, all right, bro. All right, I don't know what price is gonna do. We've been selling a lot. We could just completely just go up. I don't know. So I'm like, all right, I'm into a trade. Price started coming, start doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? Boom, 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 boom. Once we got like down here, I ended up getting out the trade. I wish I would have held. I just wanted my 1-to-1 for the day. The reason why is because I don't like the market Tuesdays. Tuesdays never does what the market did today. The market never does Tuesdays. Tuesdays we always consolidating. And then I'm looking at pre-session data right here. It's just like we're consolidating. So I'm like, bro, we may just take this out. And I think another scenario that I didn't say that I did plan for, we may take out session highs, just consolidate for most of the duration of the actual thing. And then like later on, we could actually go down and hit the point of control. And that's the thing is market structure and price action, it will tell you where the market is going, but it doesn't tell you when and it doesn't tell you for how long. I know the market's going to go down, but I don't know when. I don't know how long. I got my 1-to-1. I'm done for the day. Bada boom, bada bing, take my profits, baby. So basically, definitely once the candle would have finished print like this, I would have took profits. Just whatever. Now, another day like tomorrow, a Wednesday, right? Thursday, I'm 100%. I'm 100% looking to what? Let me see. Let me get back. Never mind. I'm trying to draw my thing. I'm 100% gonna hold that bad boy. Um, well, now that you got that here, I want to hold it to the point of control. That's like a one. That's like a freaking uh, one to. Let me see. That's like a freaking 1 to 5, rounded up, 4.85. Damn it. So, however, though, there's no way I'm challenging that higher time frame resistance. So that's at least like a 1 to 3, 1 to 2.8. But I just got a nice little 1-to-1 today. You know what I'm saying? Keep it moving on a Tuesday. So, boom. What price do? Price came. Boom, 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 boom. 4 hour, 4 hour. Now, remember, we have the Big Daddy 4 hour, right? It's not going to come to the point of control. We have the Big Daddy 4 hour. See how that candle rejected? That big old kangaroo candle? 100%. Kangaroo candle, and we got in a golfing. 100%. I would have cut the trade at this point, right? Let's see what this looks like on a 5 minute. So on the 5 minute, price, you see price did exactly my scenario. Came, took out, grabbed some liquidity, and just came back. Tried to come back to the point of control. Tried to, but you had that Big Daddy 4 hour point of support. For some reason, I watched a lot of Ben Mallah. And I when these bigger time frame support or resistance, I always think of Ben Mallah. It's like this is the support zone, baby. When you price comes down here, you better buy. So that's the trade for the day. That's how I analyze things. That is my trading. That's how I trade. It's how I think. Right. Um, I'm developing this. I got a pretty good grasp on this thing. Right. My emotions, my ego, my discipline, my pride, my patience. This is my whole setup. I go. This is my entries I got worked out. Right. How to be an profitable trader. What triggers it? How, like what triggers my over trading? What triggers my patience? What triggers me revenge trading? So come very familiar with that stuff, and just pretty much just know it. This document is around 300 pages. It's freaking gold right here, bro. All right.